This is Vastu Creations, and today we're going to look at the amazing chart of Madonna, uh, a very successful writer, singer, songwriter, actress. She was born August 16th, 1958 at 7:05 a.m. in Bay City, Michigan. And if you were to look to the horizon when she was born, you would see the constellation associated with Leo rising at 14 degrees and 58 minutes. And this is a very important number. It becomes the most effective point of every house. And any planet that's within 5 degrees has strong impact in her chart within 5 degrees of this most effective rising sign degree. Um, we know that Leos are a fire sign, very action oriented, energetic, innovative, take charge. They can also be impulsive and impatient. That we know that it's a fixed sign and they're very stable, conservative, practical, but also can be inflexible and obsessive. Uh, so let's first look at and see about the strength and the quality of the planets in her chart, and then we'll look at the timing of events, and we'll look at and see what things could uh, improve or remedy her chart. So we see Sun. Sun is ruling the house of name, fame, health, longevity, and it is uh, weak at 29 degrees. Any planet that is more than 25 degrees is in old age, and it cannot protect or promote its significations, as well as any planets that are less than 5 degrees are in adolescence. Again, they can't protect or promote their own significations. So Sun is weak in old age. It's placed in the 12th house. Any planets that are placed in the 6th, 8th, or 12th also become weak. So uh, it usually means that you don't get a lot of support from your father sometimes, or governments, father figures. It, I think it forced her to become very independent in her life. Um, and she, I think, left home at a very early age. This also is the house of life purpose. So I think this made her very strong, gave her independent philosophy, makes her own decisions. Interesting, wearing orange would strengthen the sun, but she doesn't like orange at all. Never wears it. So Moon is at 18 degrees. It's ruling the 12th house. So any um, sign that is placed in the 6th, the 8th, or the 12th house, the Dustan houses, houses of challenges, um, become functional malefic in the chart, along with Rahu and Ketu, which are functional malefic for every chart. So for Leos, yeah, the moon is functional malefic. It is placed in this first house of life purpose, and because it's functional malefic, it you don't get a lot of support from mother. Mother died at the age of 6, and Moon, it gave her high, strong intuition, uh, strong spiritual desires. She's in later in life she took up the Kabbalah, which is a very sacred teaching of Judaism, and give her interest in that. Mars is at 22 degrees. It is ruling the house of good fortune, and it is also in its own sign, which makes it very strong. And give her a lot of ambition, and also give her kind of a rebellious attitude in her life, I think. Part of her popularity for sure. Mercury is at 12 degrees, close to the most effective point, within 2, 3 degrees of the most effective point. And Mercury gave her strong intellect. She got straight A's in school, and gives her really the ability of singer songwriter, um, and yeah, just a really bright mind, um, and the ability to communicate through her songs. Jupiter is weak. It's less than 5 degrees. It's placed in the house of communication. And Jupiter is husband and children. And she has struggled with relationships and had multiple relationships and had many miscarriages. So, and it's also afflicted by Rahu and Ketu. So that also, makes it very weak in her chart. And it gives her kind of weaker morals. She kind of is outside the realms of normal legal laws and of the land. And Jupiter rules the house of education, investments, and children. And so she did not finish school. Even though she did very well in school, she did not finish college. She um, Now, Venus is another good planet for her, although it's weak because it's in this Duston house, the 12th house of separations, depression, anxiety, um, imprisonment. This house helps you grow through letting go of attachments. And Venus, also has to do with romance. Now, Venus rules this house of performing arts, healing arts, um, and fine arts. So, kind of helps her think outside the box because it's in this house of the 12th house, the Duston house, the challenging house, and gave her a great sense of fashion. Let's see, and beauty. Now, Saturn is at 25 degrees and just slightly weak, 25 degrees and 51 minutes. It's ruling the house of partnerships. So, again, multiple relationships. Um, it's placed in the house of family, happiness through family life, which she struggles with since she's had multiple relationships. Um, let's see, Rahu and Ketu are very weak and they're function malefic, but they're not afflicting many things besides Jupiter in her chart, and they're not close to the most effective point. So they're not causing a lot of harm, except in transits other than Jupiter. But I think they helped her. Rahu and Ketu have their ecliptic nodes of the moon, so they can give positive and challenging experiences. So I think Rahu being in this house of performing arts gave her ambition to be in performing arts, and K2 here in the house of good fortune gave insights into how to create good fortune and gave her a spiritual nature as well. So what can we do to improve well, let's look at the timing events. Her mother died in 1984, and I think that was Moon was afflicted during that period. Moon is mother, and it's also ruling this house of death-like experiences. And then one of her first biggest albums, like A Virgin, was in 2005. And I think she also had an accident during a Rahu K2 period. She fell off a horse. So those are some of the timing events, and what can we do to improve the quality of the chart? So we know that sun needs strengthening. So wearing orange and having a kavash containing a locket containing the The Devata yantra for sun would help strengthen sun. Um, we know, um, see, Jupiter, also the Kavash would help, and wearing yellow. Venus is in this, yeah, it's weak because it's in the 12th house. So also wearing a kavash with the Devata yantra for Venus would be helpful. And Saturn as well, wearing a kavash. Now, to transform the moon, Rahu and Ketu would be helpful. Moon by listening to Shiva chants on Mondays, helping women, and Rahu and Ketu by listening to Shiva chants on Saturdays, and Ketu by donating to spiritual organizations and helping those who cannot help themselves. I think she does quite a bit of charity work. So that's probably helped her a lot with her success in her life. So those are the things that we could do we want to avoid wearing black or gray, um, and less white for her would be also good. So those are the main things for the chart. If you'd like a reading, astrology reading, you can go to vastucreations.com under services. If you'd like to learn transformational Vedic astrology, I feel it's a very simple but practical and highly effective form of astrology. And you can go to AmericanInstituteofVastu.com to learn that.